Know your why, because when you know your why, you could make it through any season. So basically, start with the end in mind, and the end would be your why. Like, why am I doing this? Why did I start this? In business, never go based on your emotions, because your emotions would cost you your business, literally. It'll cost you everything that you have built.
Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey, the podcast where we share valuable insights, resources, and motivation to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's build a supportive community together. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you listen to podcasts and be part of this journey. Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you. Whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation.
Welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom, your business journey. A space for real conversations about entrepreneurial and creative journeys. My name is Angela Sendenis, and I'll be your host for today's episode. We're in for another exciting conversation about entrepreneurship. Today's guest is a daughter of St. Lucia soil. She's the proud founder of two wellness-focused brands based in St. Lucia. Fresh Squeeze, an all-natural, sugar-free, cold-pressed juice company, and AUERA, clean, all-natural facial care. Her entrepreneurial journey began at a very young age when her creativity and drive led her to start several small side hustles to support herself throughout school. Over the years, she has launched and explored several businesses, each one shaping her path and sharpening her purpose. Today's guest on Begin, Build, Blossom is Miss Simmone Frederick. In today's episode, Simmone will share how she found her passion in building a global movement around health, wellness, and self-acceptance. She will also share of her dedication to empowering people to make healthier choices and to feel confident and comfortable in their own skin, inside and out. Simmone, welcome to Begin, Build, Blossom.
Hello, Angela. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and chat with you.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for making the time. And we look forward to learning a bit more about your journey, a bit more about how you started your journey and what's influenced you to get this far.
Most definitely.
Yes, when we met, I was very intrigued by your story of how you came up with your skincare brand, particularly the serum that you use on your skin, which was created to solve a problem. So we have an opportunity to delve into that and also to delve into the work that you do, the business that you have that produces cold pressed juice in St. Lucia.
Yes, most definitely. So let's dive into it.
Okay, excellent. But before we get into the business of things, of discussing your entrepreneurial journey, we want to warm things up a bit. So to do that, we have a few questions in this section called Rapid Fire. And so the first question is, if there is a word that you would use to describe yourself now and one word that you would use to describe yourself as a child, what would they be? Would they be the same word or would they be different?
Okay, so as a child, I would describe myself as eager, and right now, I would describe myself as intentional. I use these two words because as a child, I didn't really understand life as yet, and so I seem to be always in a rush to do things and get a certain result. And looking back, it wasn't really the smartest approach to life. And now that I am older and wiser and the veil has been lifted off my eyes and I understand life on a deeper level, I mean everything I say and do. So typically, for example, how I choose to spend my free time, the people I surround myself with, my business decisions, every single thing is calculated.
Okay, that's excellent. So there's a level of growth and maturity.
Yes,
Yeah. And as you get more information, that influences the decisions
the
that you make.
decisions I make, that's correct.
That's right. Okay, excellent. So as we move along, thank you for sharing that in-depth response. There are books that we read, movies that we may see that sometimes open our eyes or influence us in a particular way. Are there any books or movies that you have experienced that you'd like to share with us?
For me, that would be the Bible. And the reason why I choose this is because it contains the knowledge and wisdom for every single situation that you could possibly face in life. Every situation, it teaches you how to deal with it. And one of my favorite books is James chapter 1 to 5, because it speaks about a range of things from patience, the power of prayer, faith, wisdom, trials. It teaches you how to live righteously, and it also teaches you about the power of the tongue. So for me, the Bible is my go to.
Okay, so it's all encompassing,
Exactly.
you would say.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's great and most inspirational and aspirational for those of us who read the Bible. Now, as we move along to the next question on the rapid fire. There are many countries in the world where the country we're from is quite beautiful. It has lots of things we can do and see as well. But if there's somewhere else in the world that you would visit or would like to see, where would that be and why?
Okay, that will be Tanzania, and mainly because I am a nature lover and I love animals as well. So it is definitely on my to-do list to experience the safari. 100%.
Okay, so seeing the nature and the animals and so on.
Yes.
So was it a country that you just learned about or Tanzania, you said?
Yes, it's a country in Africa.
Okay, so it's just something you learned. There are many African countries, so why did you choose that one?
Well, I chose that one specifically because it has grown popularity for its safari, as in the elephants, the lions.
I think we've warmed up now. We've gotten to know you a little bit better, and now we can move into the matter of the business. In the introduction, we mentioned the names of your business, but before we get to that, were you always in business? Did you have a full-time job?
I did have a full-time job 3 years ago. However, entrepreneurship, it has always been something that was in me, even from a very young age. I always found myself just coming up with new ideas, new business ideas, trying to figure out how would I solve a problem. If I'm being completely honest and open, I never thrived in a corporate space or a 9 to 5 environment. Never.
Okay, so this was your calling.
Yes, this was my calling, and I figured that out a long time ago, and I acted on it immediately.
Okay, excellent. So it means you were able to just read whatever the experiences were at that time and then use it to your benefit. So you're not spending time on other things that are not necessarily in your path.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So now, as we talk about entrepreneurship, you have two businesses. Tell us about those businesses.
All right. So my two businesses are Aura and Fresh Squeeze, and Aura is an all natural skincare line, and Fresh Squeeze is a sugar-free cold pressed juice line. I started because I have eczema and I have really sensitive skin, and so I needed a product that was gentle on the skin, effective, all natural, and cost efficient as well. And so after experimenting for 2 years and coming up with a favorable result, I decided, why not? Let me turn this passion into a business. And that is how Aura was birthed. In regards to Fresh Squeeze, it's mainly two reasons. One, because of a change in my lifestyle, and that also included a change in what I eat and what I drink. And so I started to drink healthier, and that fueled that, as well as being in the Caribbean, there is actually a diabetes epidemic. Okay, and diabetes is the third leading cause of death in St. Lucia. And in 2024, we had 15,000 new cases of diabetes. And so you don't really find in St. Lucia that this is something that is being addressed. And I decided that, I already have the knowledge and the passion. So I decided to spread awareness and turn that into a business. So my main goal for Fresh Breeze is to create a global movement to empower health and wellness. And I am currently the only sugar-free drink on the supermarket shelves, which says a lot.
Okay, so you're the first entrance into the market. It allows you to essentially set the bar.
Yes.
As we speak about the juice business, is there any particular fruits that you focus on, or is it as the opportunity presents itself?
Yes, I focus on particular fruits. For example, one of my flavors is beetroots, lemon, and ginger. I also have carrot. I have cucumber, lime, lemon, watermelon, and pineapple.
So you have all the tropical type of fruits together.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So as we talk about the juice, we continue that discussion. How was it that you were able to get into the supermarket? Was it something that you just decided, okay, I've changed my lifestyle, I've tried these juices, they're good. How do you meet the standards? What would the supermarket accept? Is it just a casual conversation?
Actually, for me, it was a casual conversation. Um, and of course, something that you would learn about me is I am very determined and, as I previously mentioned, very passionate into anything that I do. And so what I did is I created some samples. I took it to the various supermarkets and gave it to the head of the purchasing department, asked them to try it out, and sent them a business proposal to have it retailed in their stores. And they all told me yes.
Okay, there you go. So, I mean, it isn't always that simple, but this is just that you had divine favor. That's what I would say.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Yes, and the really good thing as well, if your product was not good enough, then it would not be accepted.
Yeah, and I also think again because it is something that was not being done. So I was kind of like a pioneer, I would say. And so, yeah.
So that's really good, and congratulations on that, on being
Thank
that
you.
pioneer of getting started with, fresh cold pressed juice because it tastes different from the other one, definitely.
Yes, it does. It does.
I could agree. Do you intend to expand that leg of your business outside of St. Lucia?
Yes, I do intend to expand. Actually, I have been on 2 trade missions because I am a client of Export St. Lucia. And what Export St. Lucia does, they facilitate trade in different parts of the world for their fellow St. Lucians. So yes, I have been on 2 trade missions, one in St. Martin and one in Barbados. That was in August and November of last year to explore potential markets. So I had several B2B meetings, and what I'm doing now is just my follow-ups to begin to enter these 2 markets.
Okay, great. So you're on the road to expanding regionally to have more.
I am, and it's something that I am really looking forward to doing.
Okay, great. And then it's just one more step to go global.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move away from the juice and move into the other business, which is about skincare. Well, health and wellness continues to be that $1 trillion business. So anyone getting into business, these are areas to consider. Share with us what's the foundation of you starting off the skincare. You alluded to it a little bit earlier, but tell us a little more about AUERA.
Okay, so if I am really gonna dive deep into this, I might as well tell the whole truth and the full story. I began planning or 2 years ago, right? I was in a very dark and low place in my life, and I figured when you're at the bottom, like the only thing you could do is rise up, like come out of the situation because you're already at the bottom. Like there's no other place to go but up, right? And so it was either that I invested the last bit of my savings that I had, or just watch it finish. And so I decided to invest what I had in my account into my skincare line, and I'm like, God, you gave me that vision and you did not give it to me for no reason. So this is what I am going to do. And I am just asking that you take full control of this business idea. And that's what happened. I ordered some samples. I brought a bottle to Expert St. Lucia. I brought a few other bottles to 4 other hotels. And of course, we would call it grace and divine favor because after that, my business, it just picked up. I now supply the 4 hotels that I actually brought the sample to. I actually have my products in another store at a cruise port as well, and they love it. It sells out, it does exceptionally well. And from the trade mission that I was on in St. Martin, I also got one buyer at a hotel. So my line is being carried in St. Martin as well.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
So it shows that, you just followed those prompts that you received and then you took a chance, because in business, that's what it is, taking a chance. So you're definitely en route to grow beyond St. Lucia, beyond the region, because you were more recently on a mission to the UK.
Yes, I was about to speak to you about that. Oh my gosh. This is one of the best trade missions I have been on. And thank you to She Trades. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to Kayan, which has been a tremendous support. I love her so much. And me being on this trade mission in the UK, it was truly transformational. I gained a lot of insight in regards to entering the UK market, right? And my first event at the Jamaican High Commission, I was able to secure myself a buyer. Yes, he is a fellow St. Lucian. He has a Caribbean store based in the UK, and he took 30 of my bottles, which I came up to the UK with. So I came ready to do business. And of course, I came up with the bottles. I did not know which buyer I was going to meet, how I was going to sell them. But I just said, Lord, I place this in your hands. And lo and behold, I got a buyer.
There you go. Caribbean grown Magie.
Right.
Yes, so they sell St. Lucian products. There is a taste of St. Lucia shelf with them.
Yes, that's correct.
So okay, so that's excellent. So you see, you were prepared, and so that's what happens when
preparation meets opportunity. Yeah,
there is success. So very well done. Kudos to you.
Thank you
for taking that chance.
Thank you very much.
Now I want to learn a little bit more about putting the formula together, particularly the serum that you speak of. How was that done? Was it something out of your scientific knowledge? Did you collaborate with someone to develop it based on what the vision that you had?
So it was actually developed on my own, based on what I wanted the product to do, right? And so because I needed the product to be moisturizing, I needed it to cater to pimples, I needed it to cater to eczema, I needed it to cater to dry skin. So I created a formula centered around these things.
Okay. So you have a science background.
Research.
Oh, research-based.
Research-based.
Okay. All right, great. So how did you know that these 3 combinations would work together? Because I believe your serum has the sea moss, it has the tea tree oil.
And it has olive oil. Like I said, for 2 years, I planned this. I tested it out for 2 years. And after that, I sent it to our lab in St. Lucia to get tested. And it is currently now going to be tested in the UK as well.
Let's pause for a moment to hear from our sponsors. You've built a name for yourself through hard work and dedication, but does managing the business side feel like a distraction from your true passion? Are you dealing with unmanaged finances? CME Accounting LLC is here to help. We specialize in organizing your financial records, allowing you to focus on what you do best. With organized books, you'll have more time for what inspires you, whether that's expanding your influence, building relationships, or simply enjoying life. Don't let unmanaged finances hold you back. Reach out to CME Accounting LLC today and let us help you thrive. Visit our website www.cmeaccountingllc.com or email us at admin@cmeaccountingllc.com. All right, let's jump back into our conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So things are moving along.
Yes.
All the steps that need to be taken, they're being followed. So one thing is leading to
To
another to
another.
get
Yes.
to that global point.
Yeah.
That's just brilliant, I must say. The fact that you saw this need and then you just focused on it with all passion and then you were able to deliver something, not just one product, but
Yes.
of a need because business is about solving a problem.
Yes, that's correct.
So, as you continue to build, what would you say so far has been your biggest leap?
My biggest leap so far would have to be a leap of faith. And I think so far you have gathered that I am a Christian. Right. I recently got baptized, so I decided to officially make Jesus Christ my Lord and Savior. However, prior to that, I was just running my business based on my own strength, and in that created chaos, instability, mixed emotions, not properly managing my finances. And so when I made that huge step, I knew for a fact that I had to change everything that I previously knew how to do. And so what it is, I just spoke to the Lord. I said, if these two businesses that I have already started is really your will for me, I am going to make you the driver of this operation. I pray about every single decision that I'm going to make. And I just asked him to let this business grow. So I had to sit back, have patience. And this is not an easy thing, especially in business. It's not easy, especially when you don't know where your sales are going to come from. You don't know what's next. So I have been operating solely on faith, and he has been showing up. He has been showing me favor. He has been showing me grace because my business has been thriving. It has been growing. I don't have to go out and search for anything. It all comes to me. People are now contacting me, reaching out to me, and this is what it has been.
Okay. So, sounds like it's been an unbelievable experience for you.
It has been.
Okay. So, that's brilliant. That you've been able to observe those things in your life and then take action and have the patience that's necessary for the next step to be revealed to you.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for sharing that insight because that's a very personal insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we continue in the conversation, the leap, the clients, the step, the faith, the patience. In business, you also need a team. So it could be a team of yourself and one other person, two other person. How have you been able to grow your business from the start to now?
Okay, so for now, I am still the only person managing all aspects of both of my businesses. However, I do think the time is approaching where I will need to expand. And so I am making provisions to do so.
Okay, so in terms of expansion, spoke about all these different elements. Do you intend to expand team wise, facilities wise? What would that expansion look like?
Okay, so for me, the expansion would look like for both of my businesses in getting a larger team, and that will include persons to help me and an accountant as well, because I don't have any accountants. And of course, getting a larger facility to facilitate larger processing of goods.
Okay, okay. So you see the need for those different aspects so far.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, that's brilliant. Sounds like you're on the right track. So we extend very best wishes as you continue to expand and grow.
Thank you so much.
Yes, from being national to regional to global.
I most definitely look forward to that.
So in business, there's always that time where you think, I don't think I want to do this anymore. The challenge is big. I'm ready to give up. Have you ever had that sort of feeling? And if so, what has kept you going?
Yes, I think for me it was in the growing slash development stage of my business, not necessarily the skincare, because that on its own it can survive, but more my juice business, especially since it was one, a new market, two, a new venture for me. I just encountered a lot of challenges that I did not anticipate. So I just had to rewire my entire way of thinking. And I also had to learn from my mistakes so that I don't repeat them again. Right. And then also, I believe one of the biggest challenges that I faced was not knowing where my future sales would come from. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you overcome that?
I overcame that by faith one, but also by doing a lot of marketing and doing a lot of market research. So I needed to figure out, okay, great, I have this new business that's promoting health and wellness, but what do people really want, right? And what is actually missing, and what gaps did I need to fill out in this new market? Yeah, and so far, I have been handling all the challenges really well. I mean, my business is growing, the name is getting out there. Apart from supplying the supermarkets, I am also actively doing collaborations with fitness coaches for this entire month and last month. I have partnered with a personal trainer. She has like a little boot camp every Saturday. And so I would come and set up as a energy booster kind of vibe for the guests that attended.
So that's brilliant. I mean, you have been able to not just grow your business or whatever it is you're doing or overcome a challenge, you have been able to seek out partnerships because one of the key things in building business is establishing those partnerships. In terms of that kind of collaboration, is that something you'd want to do a lot more of?
Yes, I am actually engaging more fitness trainers and more personal trainers to see how much more we could collaborate, because I do think that it is one of the ways that I could boost not only my sales but create brand awareness.
Mm. Okay, great. And that's the term these days, brand awareness.
Yes.
And once you could get awareness out there, then your items are known. And when people know you for producing a particular item good, then anything else you bring out will have that same kind of reputation.
Yeah.
So as we move into talking a bit more about, we've gone through the beginning, the bit of a building, we're on that blossoming section. There is that struggle, there is those challenges. What has kept you motivated to keep going, to building your business?
Honestly, my biggest motivation is myself, and I do not say that in any sort of conceited way. The reason why I say that is because I do not have anybody to fall back on. Literally, I've seen it time and time again. When I was in a dark place, I had to pull myself out and build myself back up from scratch, brick by brick by brick. So every day I try to improve myself by 1%, because I know if I get stuck, I don't I don't have anybody to call on. I did not come from any rich family. I actually saw my mom as a single parent struggle, and so yeah, it's just me, just myself.
Just seeing yourself in a particular position and being able to take care of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that insight into, what keeps you motivated and what keeps you going. When you build a business, there are always that time where sometimes you push yourself to that limit. How have you been able to balance not doing too much to burn yourself out, but still continue pushing?
I sometimes actually think I am a workaholic because I would push and push and push, especially because I am now growing this brand and I want it to reach a certain level. I barely take any personal time for myself. When I'm free, I would probably go to church or go to the gym or probably try to read a book. But apart from that, I could tell you 90% of the time I am working.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you haven't quite balanced yet.
No.
All right. So we move from balancing. We're talking about lessons. What would you say are two really valuable lessons you've learned so far and you don't mind sharing for other persons who are interested in getting into business?
One lesson would be learn to take criticism, all right? Because it is very much needed, especially in the development stage of your business for growth. Because sometimes you think the product or service that you're putting out there is what customers want, but if you don't take any feedback, you will never really know that, hey, what you're doing is on your own accord and not what the market needs. You understand? So I would say learn to take constructive criticism and adjust your business as necessary. The second, I would say, is to put God first in everything that you do.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks for sharing that. So we have two succinct insights in terms of lessons that you've learned along the way. So we've learned how you've grown, we've learned how you've built, and so we're coming to that section to close out the conversation. There are steps that persons would take. So we spoke about the lessons, but then there are things that, people should consider when starting out a business. What are 3 words of advice that you would give to someone embarking on starting a business today?
I would say know your why, because when you know your why, you could make it through any season. So basically, start with the end in mind, and the end would be your why. Like, why am I doing this? Why did I start this? The second would be to remain consistent. And the third, in business, never go based on your emotions, because your emotions would cost you your business literally. It'll cost you everything that you have built. Yeah.
Okay. Those are 3 very good tips. And not just for business, but in anything that people do. Even professionals can take on that advice that you provided.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as we bring the conversation to a close, Simmone, thank you so much for sharing a bit about your journey. We know that you're still young in business, but growing, expanding, and seeking out new opportunities and connections. How can listeners find out more about your products, your business? How would they be able to reach you?
Okay, they could either contact me via email, Instagram, or, well, my telephone number, which I would give out. So my Instagram handle for my business is Fresh Squeeze Juices. So that's FRESHQUEEZEJUICES. The handle for my skincare is auraskin.lc. So that's AUERASKIN.lc. My business contact number is +1 758 730 8655. And they could also email me. Fresh Squeeze will be Fresh Squeeze Juice for You. It's kind of long at gmail.com. So that's Fresh Squeeze Juice for You at gmail.com. And Aura would be aura.skin@gmail.com.
So lots of contacts, detailed contacts that persons can reach out to Simmone to find out what it is that she has to offer and how they can access your products.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we've come to the end of this episode. Simmone, thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for joining us on Begin Build Blossom. And we look forward to following you on your journey as you grow Fresh Squeeze and Aura.
And thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here, and I do look forward to many more discussions like this in the future. And hopefully my story, if it reaches and touch one person, then for me, that's a lot. So thank you very much.
Well, that's brilliant. You're most welcome. And that's how we look at it. You just need to touch one person and they can touch another person. And
And another, and another. Yeah.
yes, we can expand and influence persons.
Yes.
So, listeners, this has been Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. My name is Angela, and I've been your host for this episode. Do ensure to like, share, and subscribe from wherever you get your podcasts. This is all for now. Until next time. Bye. A quick note before we wrap up. The insights and experiences shared by our guests are their own. We love creating space for real conversations about business and growth, and everyone's journey is unique. Therefore, this podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. It is not meant to replace legal, financial, or other professional advice. So, we encourage you to take what's useful, do your own due diligence, and build what works best for you.
Thanks for listening to Begin, Build, Blossom Your Business Journey. We hope today's conversation gave you the insights and inspiration you need to move forward on your own path. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you get your podcast so you never miss an episode. Do you have feedback? We'd love to hear from you at podcast@cmeaccountingllc.com. Join us again next week for a new episode.